Despite having bug zappers at one side of our property, we still get bit where we sit under our patio. I was at our local market and saw these mosquito repelling sticks. They were about $4 for 5 sticks, and I started using them this summer. The one thing I noticed though is that if you just put them in the ground or wherever, that it's kind of up to the wind to bring that material to where you're sitting and repel the mosquitoes. I came up with a couple of modifications to these sticks and how to use them that I hope will be beneficial to you. The first thing is that I had this old tray, this old metal tray, and I drilled a hole in here. You can see where the drill bit walked here, but I just put it in at an angle, and the tray is not only fireproof, but it catches the ash. All this stuff turns to ash. One other thing I will tell you is that the sticks themselves don't really smell. There is no strong odor, so they don't bother a lot of people from what I noticed. You open up the package, they don't smell. They just pretty much odorless, but they do work, especially with the modification that I'm about to show you. If you don't have a tray or anything that you can put them in that's like this, like an incense holder, then you can stick them in a crack in the concrete. I put one in the ground, and see if I can zoom in here. You can see how I put a tip, sorry about that, there you go, to the end of the stick with my jackknife. So that makes it easier to stick into the ground or a crack in the concrete. I think I actually put these in a weep hole for a window, and it held on there just fine because of this. Otherwise, you can see that these are just, they're just round. But anyway, I'm going to come back and show you what I do to really make these work. I usually have 2 of these going at once, one on either side of the area where we're sitting. Just a heads up, these are kind of a bare to light. So if you have a long stem lighter, like for fireplaces or barbecues, it's going to take you a little while to light these, but eventually they do light, and the ones that I've used have burned perfectly. So what I do is I light this and I get it started, and then I set it next to a fan. And this sort of acts like a fogger, and it will blow the smoke from this stick wherever you direct the fan. Now, a lot of people are sensitive to these kind of things. Again, they don't really have an odor, but this stuff, if you point it towards your face, I mean, you're going to breathe it. So for me, what I do is I light it, and once you light it, I'm not going to turn the fan on because that would be very loud. So the smoke gets drawn into the fan just naturally. So you can point the fan, if you have one of these like this, in any direction. You know what I mean? Twist it, and put it at an angle. This would also work if you have a smaller fan than this. This just happens to be the one I have, but even small USB powered fans would help. Battery powered fans, whatever. We have ankle biter mosquitoes, so you can sit there and they won't touch anything above your waistline for some reason, but they just love ankles and feet and legs. So we tend to point the fan down towards here, and the smoke gets drawn in from this repellent stick into the fan, and there's just no problem with mosquitoes. This year has not been as bad as previous years as far as mosquitoes go, but I'm swearing by these sticks because they have really just eliminated the issue. I don't really think that you should light a bunch of these around you. Just a couple seems to do a 30 by 30 area for us, especially with the fans. I'm not a big fan of breathing this kind of smoke. Try it on your own, and if you can find these sticks or something else that are like these, like the coils, using a fan and having the smoke from the coil or the stick drawn into it and dispersed really, really helps to make these effective.